Ethan Cole had always been good at quitting. At 32, he was a former high school track star turned burnout, a man who had once dreamed of Olympic glory but now spent his days in a cubicle, crunching numbers for a job he barely tolerated. His knees ached from years of neglect, his lungs burned after climbing a single flight of stairs, and the only running he did was from his own reflection in the mirror. Then came the diagnosis: prediabetes, just like his father had before the complications took him. The doctor's words were clinical, but the message was clear: change or lose your future. Ethan scoffed. Change? He tried before. Failed before. What was the point? But that night, as he stared at the dusty shoebox under his bed, the one holding his old racing medals, something cracked open inside him. Not hope, not yet. Just anger. Anger at himself. Anger at the years wasted. Anger that he'd let the boy who once loved the wind in his face become a man who dreaded the scale. The next morning he laced up his sneakers and ran. It was pathetic. 2 blocks in, his chest heaved, his legs turned to lead, and he collapsed on a park bench, humiliated. A passing jogger, an older man with a silver-streaked beard, paused, eyeing him with an amused smirk. First time? The man asked. Ethan glared. Something like that. The man chuckled. Hurts, doesn't it? But it gets easier. If you keep showing up. Ethan almost laughed. Keep showing up? He hadn't stuck with anything in years. But as he limped home, the man's words stuck in his head like a burr. So he came back the next day. And the next. Progress was agonizingly slow. Shin splints sidelined him for weeks. A pulled muscle sent him hobbling. There were mornings when the snooze button felt like a siren's call, nights when he drowned his frustration in takeout, wondering why he even bothered. But then, small victories. A mile without stopping. Then 2. The first time he sprinted and didn't feel like dying afterward. A year later, he stood at the starting line of the Silver Canyon Marathon, a brutal course known for breaking even seasoned runners. His stomach churned. What the hell am I doing here? The gun fired. Mile after mile, his body screamed. At mile 18, his calf cramped viciously. At mile 22, he stumbled, scraping his palms on the asphalt. The old voices whispered, "Quit. You're not built for this." But then he remembered the man in the park. Keep showing up. He remembered the first time his daughter had seen him run and yelled, "Go, Daddy." He remembered the quiet pride in his wife's eyes when he'd stopped reaching for the chips and started reaching for his shoes instead. Ethan Cole crossed the finish line dead last. But as he collapsed into his family's arms, gasping and grinning through the tears, he realized something. He hadn't come here to win a race. He'd come to prove he could finish one. And for the first time in years, he had.